little bit, but
okay.
All right.
That's so funny.
Live. Everybody, hey Claire. Alrighty, so it is 10:30. Welcome everybody to our first shared services workshop of the new year. We are joined by the fabulous Felina Martin, who is going to work with us today on a talk that she's put together called Invent It and Make Money. So in the arts community, that's definitely something that we are interested in. People tend to forget that artists are entrepreneurs too. Looking forward to that. Just wanted to welcome everybody back. We are being recorded. This is live on Facebook. If for some reason you need to leave us early, we will post the recording to the Arts Build YouTube page. Before we get started, I just wanted to remind everyone that we do have an open application right now for our Opportunity Fellows program. So if you work with or know of a rising college junior, senior, or recent college graduate who would like an intern placement with a local arts organization, please send them our way. I'll post that application link in the chat here in just a second. But the fellowship positions or internship positions this year will be with the Hunter Museum, Scenic City Clay Arts, and James, I just blanked on who the third one is. Save me.
Stoveworks.
Stoveworks, thank you. Sorry, Charlotte, if you're on here. With that, I will hand things over to Miss Felina to keep us moving in time. So good to see everybody.
Great. Thank you, Amy. And thank you, James and the Arts Build team for allowing me the opportunity to present on something that I'm like so excited about. I love special events. Absolutely love it so much that I had a business for 16 years planning special events for corporations, nonprofits, universities, and government entities. So it is in my DNA to love special events and, more importantly, make money from special events. So I am going to do a quick transition of sharing my screen, which will be a lot of fun because this is the very first time that I've presented using the Canva platform, but I love the colors and the vibrancy and the opportunity to be really creative through Canva. And so they've got this great platform so I can share with you some great photos and a lot of information. So we're going to be moving really, really fast. But before we do all of that, I want to engage you in an art activity. And TJ, hello, TJ. I'm so excited about my class. I can't stand it. And to be teased with the lanterns behind you, that's just so cool. So cool. But everyone, welcome again to Invent It and Make Money. I have a really big challenge of guiding you through all this energy and excitement that I have within like 45, well, I don't know what, 56 minutes right now. But the first thing we're going to do, hopefully you've got your pen or pencil, and a piece of paper, because what I want to challenge you right now is I want to challenge you, and everyone, please, if you have the opportunity to share your screen so we can see your beautiful faces, as well as this next activity, then please, please turn on your video camera, because it's not going to be fun if it's just like me and TJ showing our pictures. Sarah, thank you. Yes, it's great to see your faces. Oh, this is awesome. And Corey, thank you. Claire, so Claire's face on here. All right. So I've got a little bit of limited visibility as a presenter, but I want to see as many of these beautiful art pieces that you're about to throw up on the screen. So my challenge to you with your pen and or pencil and paper I want you to draw an emoji that best describes how you feel about fundraising events. All right, draw your emoji of how you feel about fundraising events. And then when I'll count down, I want everybody to show their emoji on the screen, show their beautiful picture on the screen of how do you feel about special events just using an emoji. All right. Hopefully my teachers here, I've given the instructions clearly. I always impressed by instructors and teachers. All right, so all right, is everybody roughly ready from the faces that I can see? And Linda, Casey, Devin, if you're able to join us. And you know what, Amy, if you are willing to participate. All right, your emoji of how do you feel about special events? Everybody ready? Count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's see what you got. Oh my goodness. Okay, I love, oh my gosh, Post-it note, that's great. I see gritting of teeth. Thank you, Amy. Let's see, TJ, can y'all come a little closer to the screen? Let's see what you got there, my creatives. Oh, that's super cute. All right, I'm seeing like scared. Oh, Sarah loves it. Okay. Oh, I see sweating and panicking. Wow. Okay, not surprised I would see all these incredible artists. Thank you, Corey. That's beautiful. Great. Well, no fear. Okay, no fear. Your friendly Felina is here to help you out. At least give you some tips. All right, over the next few minutes. Great job, everybody. They are absolutely beautiful works of art. Okay, make sure you share that with your staff. You give them a nice big smile day. So here's what we're going to go over. We're going to go over static. All right, I'm big on data. So we're going to share some data with you that's really going to be very helpful with you making those decisions and help eliminate some of that nervousness that you may have. We're also going to talk about event design, which is very, very important if you are going to have a successful event that's going to make you money. We're going to go into that just a little bit. Okay, I got a short period of time to go over a lot of stuff, but event design is critical. Okay, we're going to talk about going big, tips for how you attract big money to your event. All right, we want large dollar amounts for our event. If we're going to put in all the sweat equity and all this work, then we want to generate some big returns. Okay, that also means we are going to calculate your ROI, your return on investment, all this time, energy, volunteer hours, all that stuff. We want to make sure that if you're going to do this event and invest this time, that you are going to generate at least 50% in revenue from it. Okay, at least. All right, we want to make big money. So we're going to go over some great tips about how you can do that. And then this is going to be really, really narrow, but I'm going to spend a little bit of time on some big ways for you to actually raise money from your event. We'll talk about sponsorship just a little. I want to do a sponsorship workshop in the future. So I'm working on that with Amy. Again, in the future, we'll do a sponsorship 101 and a 102 because sponsorship is a lot of work. And then ticket sales, how are we leveraging ticket sales? Give you a couple little tips on that. And then online giving. If you're not doing online giving, I don't care what organization you're in, you need to have some type of online giving, and you can associate that and tie it nicely in to your event. All right, so we will cover that as well too. All right, so let's go into some statistics. All right, now if data bores you, I'm so sorry, but it's so important with you being able to make some really wise, critical decisions is knowing some stats and some information, right? So data can drive your decisions. So let's look at where our country is at. You know, numbers for 2021, of course, are still being calculated, and all these great platforms are doing their work to see where we ended up being in 2021 with our giving. But when we look at where did the generosity come from in philanthropy last year, you can see that 69% are coming from individuals, right? So we've got to go, when we're talking events, we have to think much, much more than sponsorship dollars, right? We really have to emphasize those ticket sales because those are individuals who are giving to your cause. And at 69% of them, that's where we really want to make sure we are serving that audience. All right. And then we're looking down here, 19% of giving is coming from foundations. And that is definitely an increase. You can see 17% over 2019. So foundations are really stepping up. And a lot of that is because you've got your big philanthropists who are deciding to give, but give through the foundation and then allow the foundations to distribute money. All right. And then 9% giving through bequests and the 4% giving by corporations. And so although I'm really excited about sponsorship, all right, and I've emphasized sponsorship, you can see on the wheel, this wheel of donations, and where money is coming from in the nonprofit sector, only 4% is coming from corporations. Okay, so please keep that in mind, 4% from corporations. And there has been a decrease in 2020. I will bet, I won't bet my son, but I'll bet my first piece of artwork. I'll bet my first piece of artwork that in 2021, we will still see that there is probably a decrease in giving from corporations. All right, so that sponsorship dollar is even harder to get, but I'm going to give you some tips on how you can step to the top of that giving from those corporations. And then to the right, you see on here, where did charitable dollars go? 28% of it went to religious organizations, followed by education. And then third on the list is human service organizations. Foundations made the top 5, and then your public society benefit organization made that top 5 list on there as well too. I would suspect for 2021, the results will be very, very similar. Human services also relating to those justice causes. And one of the things that was definitely new from this data, typically health-related organizations are higher or they're within that top 5. And that has actually gone down the list, okay? Which is somewhat surprising, but it's not nearly as high as human services related, all right? That immediate reaction, immediate need to COVID. And then you can see our arts, culture, and humanities, 4%. Okay, no surprise there that there was a decrease in that. But again, there are some ways in which you can stand out with your events being an art-related organization. All right, so again, more numbers for you to take a look at. 56% of donors attended fundraising events regularly, all right? And now everyone's been locked up for 2.5 years. They're ready to get out. So, your events, don't be too like scared to take a leap, whether it's a hybrid event or go all out for in person. People are anxious to get back out there and mix and mingle with other human beings, okay? So 56% of your donors are attending fundraising events regularly. 69% of nonprofits plan to include, and this is a very recent study that was conducted earlier this year, so you're talking about last month, that 69% of nonprofits plan to include some virtual elements into their fundraising events going forward in this upcoming year. And you can see on here 23.7% plan to stick with virtual going on. But again, the majority of our nonprofit peers are planning for some element of virtual, but with fundraising events, okay? And then $471 billion is a lot of money. And that's how much was donated to the nonprofit sector from individuals, foundations, and corporations. Again, that previous screen showed that 69% of those donations are coming from individuals. That's a lot of money. So it's important, if you're doing that fundraising event, you've got to cater to individuals who are attending. And it's beyond the ticket sales and making them happy through ticket sales. All right, we've got to look at how do we also attract and pull more money when they're at the event. All right, let me go back and go to this next one for you, okay? 64, now this one blew me away, I will tell you. I hadn't seen this stat before, but 64% of millennials prefer to fundraise through walk, run, and cycle events. Walk, run, and cycle events, all right? So you're probably thinking, now what does that have to do with me, an art-related event? You know what? Find a partner. Find someone who's doing those 5K events, those runs, those cycling events. Partner with them, because you know what happens? And I've done, one of the things I'm most proud about in my life is actually in 1 year, I did 12 5K events and supported 12 different nonprofit organizations. That was like my year, so I was my resolution to myself, right? So I noticed and just observed a lot. After you finish doing your 3 miles and you come back, what do we do next? They've got food for you at the end of the finish line. There might be some music, but wow, how cool would it be for that 5K to be partnered with an art related event? Because all of those runners, after it's all over with, they're just perusing and they're just like socializing and having a good time. They're feeling accomplished and they want something else to do. So if you've got a partner in the community, collaborate with a nonprofit that's maybe doing a 5K that wants some element of entertainment after it's over with. And what a nice relationship there. You're going to attract the millennials by far. And that's a big market of your individual donors. Now, we don't want to forget about our age 60 and up, and you're going to see this coming in a number of slides coming up ahead as well too. But age 64, that's the average age of donors. Whoa, that's the average age of donors is 64, okay? Now, by far, Gen Z and millennials, they are high up on the pipeline of contributing, but we cannot negate what does the age 64 adult look like in terms of your marketing and how you are presenting your event. Okay, so please keep that in mind. And then 74% of Americans who are on the internet are users on Facebook. So I don't care if it's TikTok, Slick Slock, whatever the newest, latest thing is, still Facebook has a huge hold and grasp of our internet users to the point of 74%. Okay, so if your Facebook page is like outdated, you haven't posted in a year or more, something's wrong, and people are looking at that to determine whether they want to contribute. All right, I've got another activity for you. So that piece of paper, that pencil that you have, it serves another purpose. And this is so important. So I don't know, you creatives, when you're creatives, you're looking at these numbers, it's like, that's not the fun part. And I get it. But we've got to plan for success. And then one of the ways of doing that is calculating our return on investment for our events that we are doing, okay? To make sure that if we're putting in all the time and all the effort, we're doing all this begging for that money, that it is going to give us some return, all right? So you can screenshot this, but what we're gonna do is I'm gonna look at my clock. Yep, okay, my clock. And I'm going to give you a few minutes to calculate this, your ROI. You don't have to have, if you don't have these hard numbers, it's okay. All right, it's okay. You don't have to have the hard numbers right in front of you. But what I would like for you to do is I would love for you to dream big. Dream big, okay? And we know, all of us could say, hey, I want to raise $50,000 from my event. I want to raise $100,000 from my event, whatever. We know that number, but do we know the actual expenses that also include staff associated expenses? Okay, the staff associated expenses could be the development director, the marketing coordinator. It could be, hey, your part-time admin, reception, whoever you call it, that's answering the phones. All of these individuals contribute to you having a successful event, okay? So whether it's someone who's answering the phones due to the high volume that's coming in because everyone's calling about your event. It could be the intern who's working on trying to secure in-kind contributions, getting free tables and chairs. All of those factors are very important to calculate into your staff expenses. This is one area that I've always seen nonprofits, they want to skip over, and sometimes even board members do not want to factor that into the calculations, okay? Because it lowers their return on investment. But it's so critical that you calculate that staff time. And the reason is because if I am spending time planning this one event, it's preventing me from doing all these other roles and responsibilities that I may have within my organization, okay? So you have to account for the time. On the left, you can see event-related expenses. You're used to that, right? How much is it gonna cost to pay, these 5 artists to perform? How much will the venue cost and the marketing and the this and that? You got that, right? Then you add in the staff expenses that I just emphasized how important that is, okay? So in this example, what's in purple is just my examples for you to see. On the left, our expenses are totaling $25,000, okay? On the right, we're going to calculate how much we want to raise from this fundraising event. And we're going to just lightly say, ticket sales, sponsorship, auction, any and all this other kind of good stuff. I don't know, it could be online sales, all that kind of good stuff. That's going to be how much our fundraising goal is going to be, $75,000 in this example, okay? And I want you to do your own calculation. And then our net profit, by the time I subtract my 75 from the 25, make these numbers really easy, get $50,000 in net profit. Yes, right? Yes. Money, money, money. All right, so my net profit is 50 grand. I divide that by my expenses. I divide that by my expenses. I get my number, okay? And I multiply that by 100. And that will give me my percentage of return on investment. Okay. And of course, in this example, yay, we are sitting pretty and making money. Yes, right? We're happy. We're just like elated. In fact, it even ties very well into the rule of thumb. Okay, so here's just a nice little a freebie tip for you. So the rule of thumb in nonprofit for fundraising, you'll typically see where for every $100 that's raised, you spend 35% or less. Okay, so for every $100 that you raise, again, you want to spend 35% or less. And by far in this case, we did that. Okay. In fact, I think it's like more like 34% with this example. All right, but that's a rule of thumb. Now, some of your organizations, you may be where you've got direction from your board, or you've determined as the leader that if we're going to have a fundraiser, that we need to spend less than 25%. I'll give you an example. When I worked for the March of Dimes as their division director, my director said, you know what, we have this event and your budget is 10% of what we want to raise. 10%. So in this case, we're trying to raise $75,000. And you mean to tell me that I only have $7,500 for a budget to raise that? And it just varies. Okay, some nonprofits, it can change. My previous employer was like 50%. So you definitely want to make sure you look at those calculations. So how's everybody doing? Because I've talked you through this. Some of you ambitious folks have probably already calculated your ROI. So I'd love for you to unmute. And if you don't mind, share your event and share what's your calculation. Share your event and what's your calculation. Do I have any brave souls out there willing to share? I can see y'all.
I know several of these names, and I know we got a lot of brave people.
And if you're not in the position of unmuting, then please throw it in the chat, because I'm really curious as to where you're getting or how you're getting your ROI. Is it working out for you? And then we can discuss, if not now, we can definitely discuss an opportunity of how we can get that number to look nicer. Anyone want to share? I'll have to do the teacher thing, Amy, and call people out. I was not expecting that from this group. What? Okay. All right, Sarah, tell me, do you have a number? Did you calculate anything?
No, we aren't planning anything right now, so I'm not sure what our number would be, but I'm going to use this when we do.
Fantastic. No, that's the most important thing. That is the most important thing. What about Corey? What do you have? Any, I see the pen is in the mouth looking like a true accountant, Corey. What you got?
Corey just put a question in the chat too. What's the point of knowing the return on investment?
Yes, to see if it's actually worth your time to put on the event itself. You don't want to put on an event that's going to lose you money by far. Okay. And so also that's one thing. That should be the most important driver of the event. And then the second part is your board, donors, they want to see that you are putting time and effort into something that is producing money. Okay. Let's say you go, I won't put Artsville out there, but let's say you go and you get a foundation to give you $5,000 to support your event. And then it comes back that you haven't made any money from the event. All right. Even if you break even, that's not necessarily a good thing. And nonprofits, we have this mindset that that's a good thing, but it's not. You know, you want to be able to generate revenue to be able to feed and grow back into your program. So the ROI is critical to see, again, is this valuable use of your time? Because if my goal is to raise $75,000, but then my ROI is like a 5%, guess what? You know, you would actually get a greater return on your investment, investing your time by doing online fundraising or going on and knocking on doors just to get donors, period. And they just give you $50,000, $75,000 instead of you investing 100 hours or more planning an event. You know, is that the best use of your time? And I will tell you, a lot of nonprofits are starting to calculate and do this to really see if that fundraising event is really worth it. Okay. And there are several different reasons as to why you might do a fundraiser, Corey. I mean, some of it could be to satisfy donors, you know, and it's really as a donor recognition program, a sponsor recognition program, an opportunity to cultivate and gain new donors. But if you're going to invest the time, and you do want to calculate your return on investment. So hopefully that answers your question on that one, Corey. I have that right. Shayna, what about you? I see you look like you're crunching some numbers as well.
Hi. Hopefully you can hear me. I'm getting bad internet here, but I do Chattanooga Fashion Expo, and this is helpful. So we've made it happen. Took a personal risk and broke even, but this year I'm gearing up to hire some staff and to look, these numbers are very helpful to help me estimate what I need to target as far as raising to make sure that I have a return to cover all of the expenses that are there, including my time.
Yes, most definitely, which is extremely valuable and you can't get it back, right? So that's why this is so important. Thank you, Shayna, for sharing that. But yeah, this is the background, the business aspect. Again, it's not as exciting as all the other fun stuff, but it really is important. Okay. And trust me, your businesses of the world, they're doing the ROI. They're doing that. All right, so let's move on. Oh,
well, Felina, you've got one comment in the chat from Miss Linda, and Linda, I know that you're not able to come on video, but are you able to turn your mic on and kind of clarify what the information you're sharing with us?
Yes, thank you for not having the camera thing available. But anyway, so expenses are $5,000. First of all, Felina, thank you so much for sharing with us. For the expenses of $5,000, and so the goal is to raise $15,000, which is a $10,000 profit, which using your calculations is a 200% return on the investment.
Yeah. Like, I mean, if you got 25% return, that would be incredible. I mean,
yeah,
bringing a 200% return, that is like sweet, you know?
Right. Yeah. And I looked at that because not working for another organization, but for my own company, and I host events. And so thinking of doing a business networking event, and that's giving me something to look at as far as for my company.
Nice. Great. And you want to be able to have that data in front of you. It's just so
Absolutely.
You know, and you can keep planning for the years to come as well, too. Corey, it looks like you've raised your hand. I can't see that on my screen. Please feel free to unmute.
I did. I just wanted to say thank you for, thank you for having a calculation that makes sense to me, because I too am in the process of buying a commercial building and having events that, we'll be able to hold things like
So
the
I lost
infamous
sound.
Linda Bullard is talking about. So having a simple calculation that I can use for each event makes it a little easier in all the financial part of it, because I'll be honest with you, I am a creative. I do not like all these numbers. I want to give these numbers to someone else to do. But at least I will understand it when they're talking to me, and
Yeah.
I'll know what the heck they're talking about.
There you go, Corey. And congratulations to you on opening up a venue. But it's really important as well when you're looking at trying to solicit for donors, sponsors, your board, and be able to calculate the return on investment. Because now you're telling a sponsor, we have calculated a 200% return on our money that we know will go back into feeding into the mission of our organization. It's that level of confidence when you're able to talk at that level. So I'm very proud of all of you for looking at that, seeing the importance of it. Well, let's quickly move to event design. I've got 30 minutes. I can't believe how fast the time goes by. So the next few slides, they may be a little wordy, but everything on here is pretty quick and to the point and simple, okay? So these are things to consider, question marks on here, when you're looking at designing your event. I need you to ask yourself these questions, okay? Because it's more than just, oh, I've got a dream that I'm gonna have this. Think of all these things because they factor into you having a great event and making money from the event, all right? So the first thing on here, let's, I got a lot of things moving on my screen, is by far, is the event unique? I mean, how many golf tournaments can we really have in the community? How many 5K events? Like how many galas? You think about all that, right? To a sponsor, to even your attendees, again, 69% of the individuals who are giving individuals, right? It's like, is it the same event over and over and over again? Why should I go to your 5K versus the one that's coming up next weekend? All that kind of good stuff. So question and ask, is your event unique? And what can make it unique? All right. And then the target audience that you're looking at, right? We don't want to forget that we're looking at a population of, big givers who are in that average age of 64, okay? But then we also looked at the millennials. What the millennials say that they like giving to walk, run, and cycle events, okay? So it's okay, pick your audience, but you definitely need to make a decision who your audience is and target that audience. Make it a niche. All right. The worst thing is say, my event is for everybody. When I would have clients, my clients was like, I want everybody to come. But you know what? When you start narrowing it down, right, you can start catering to that target audience a lot more. You can make sure that any and everything that falls within their demographic is catered to and taken care of. All right, there's a slogan in the world of business, you get rich in your niche. All right. And so when you do niche marketing, or some people might say niche, right, then you can really customize and tailor your event to that audience. And right now, the whole world is about customization. Your emails, your social media, all that data that's being tracked about you, it's also those news stories can be customized and tailored to you. Your events should be the same way. The time of year and the event date is extremely critical, right? To think about that. You don't want to compete. I saw an event this past Sunday that was, I was like, oh my gosh, they need this information. It was a Valentine's Day event on Sunday evening. All right, what happened? Now, some of you, if you're not a sports fan, I get it. But it was a Valentine's Day dinner the night of Super Bowl. Now, unless you are playing the Super Bowl game, then you're going to have a little bit of a hard time convincing folks to come to your Valentine's Day dinner with a live jazz musician that is not like, I don't know, pick your favorite jazz musician, but it's not whoever it was, that wasn't performing, but you're competing with the Super Bowl, one of America's like top watched TV events. So again, time of year is important, event date is important. Also time of year, here's a stat for you. So 35, it's a nice number. 35% of giving in America happens during the last 3 months of the year. So we know that October, November, December, people are in the holiday spirit and they're giving left and right. If your event could fit within that time frame, I'm going to tell you, there's so many ways, leaps and bounds, for you to make money on top of money from your event. Okay, because people are just in a more charitable feel during that time of the year by 35%. Right? Your event venue speaks volumes. Please do not discount the importance of selecting an event venue. All right, because it speaks in terms of the caliber and quality of the event. It is perception, and we will have to confront that. People perceive you having your event at, let's say, is it the Edwin Hotel? It's a hotel downtown I just love. I think it's called Edwin. Edwin Hotel versus Moxie versus the convention center. Okay, there is just a different level of perception if you have your event at certain venues. So you want to be mindful of where you're having your event. Connection to a national holiday, event, or cause. Ask yourself, can I connect my event to a nationally recognized cause? And this is important because the media, you can get some excellent media coverage of your event if you can connect it or associate it with a cause, all right? And it doesn't even have to be the most popular cause in the world. As an event production company, I would look and use this resource, okay? It's called Chase's Calendar of Events. I'll type it in chat, Chase's Calendar of Events, okay? Oh, it went to waiting room. Did everybody get it? Everyone in the meeting, let's just put it that way. Chase's Calendar of Events, all right? Cool thing about Chase's Calendar of Events, it has any and every created event known to man listed in there. If it's now, this is beyond National Groundhog's Day and Heart Month and all that kind of stuff. They go down into its National Eyeglass Wearing Day. This is where you find the National Donut Eating Day, National Brownie Day, National Love Your Dog Day, National whatever you can think of. It's listed in Chase's Calendar of Events. And you know why that's so important is because when the media has slow news stories, like there's nothing going on in the world, it's like really, really dead, they will refer to Chase's Calendar of Events to see where they can pull something unique and something fun. Now, if you could tie your event into one of these nationally recognized days, or you could even create an event based on a nationally recognized day. Okay, it's much easier to sell it to the media. So ask yourself that question. Pre-event promotions, can you do a pre-event promotion with your event? Surely you can, right? You've got your fashion week. That was like, okay, I threw that out. Fashion week, fashion day, but what can you do before fashion week? Can you do like a shop around, like you can go to all these shops who are going to be participating in fashion week the week prior to for a special wine and viewing something the week before, but you want to see if you can do some kind of pre-event promotion. It doesn't take you a lot of time. Okay, that's a big thing. But if you have a pre-event promotion, it's going to tie in and get people hyped up to your big grand event. So I used to produce something called the Tallahassee Fitness and Food Festival. The Tallahassee Fitness and Food Festival, one big day, 5 hours, convention center, all that kind of stuff. But the week prior, we would go and we would go to the gyms and we do what we call, class bombs. So we go in and we give free tickets. Any of the fitness instructors who would allow us to come into their class right before they started class, we come in and we just bomb the class with tickets. They bomb the class with tickets, right? So we would just give out all these tickets the week before. So again, any pre-event promotions that you can do, can you add that? All right, ask yourself that question. And this is not even a question. I should have put an exclamation mark. If you're going to have an event, you need a sponsorship plan, okay? You need a sponsorship benefits, outline, sell, sponsorship. All right. Oh boy, time is going by too fast, but I tell you what, let's talk about show the money. Show me the money. All right. Type in chat. What's this movie from? This is going to date you and me. Put it in the chat. Who's got it first? What's the name of the movie that this came from? There you go. You got it. Jerry Maguire. You know, Amy. Amy, I see the competitive side of you there, Amy. But yes, Jerry Maguire. So show me the money. Here's how we're going to do it. And this is going to be really pretty fast. Going through this tornado, right? Here's a list of some awesome things that we want to do. Tips for attracting big money for your event. Okay. So big money for your event. First on the list, secure a media partner or two. All right. A media partner, they don't give you any money. What they do is they simply will give you free publicity. Okay. So if it's the Chattanooga Times, right, they're going to give you a couple of different ads, whether it be in the paper, the hard copy paper, or better yet, online, okay, on their online platform, right, on their website, they're going to give you a banner ad, right? But you want to secure a media partner or two. You want to secure them first before you go looking for sponsors, all right? Because that sponsor is going to say, oh, they're going to be out there. They've got some media partners that's going to come on board. So yeah, we want to be a part of that because at least we know where our logo is going to be in the newspaper. It's going to be on TV. It's going to be radio. It's going to be on this major social media platform, whatever the case may be. But try to secure a media partner or two. Plan ahead. Nothing like planning ahead. All right. If you come in front of sponsors, donors, anything, at least 12 months. Okay. You're planning at least 12 months is just the best case scenario. When you finish 1 year, you're back at it and you're ready to start the next year. If you're really on it at your event, let's say your event is October 1 of 2022. On October 1 of 2022, at my event, I'm already letting you know the date for the next event next year for 2023. I'm planning ahead. People know, they're saving the date. You know, it's impressive that you're planning ahead, all that kind of good stuff. There's so much associated with planning ahead, right? So at least 12 months. Build your social capital. What is social capital? Boy, this is undervalued. Social capital, these are the connections that you are making in the community. These are the networking events that you're going to. These are the people that you're meeting that can contribute as sponsors or attendees. Don't negate the fact that you may go to a chamber event and your mind might be focused on trying to get sponsors, but you know, every single person that you touch could potentially support your event, either as someone purchasing a ticket or could possibly be a donor for the long haul for your organization, or a sponsor, you have no idea, or that person may connect you to someone else. So don't underestimate the power of building your social capital. And that is by meeting people. All right. So get out there and socialize. All right. Customize your sponsorship. Sponsors want to see something that's tailored to them. They don't want the cookie cutter. We can still talk about sponsorship opportunities and benefits and all that kind of stuff that you see in a sponsorship packet. But you also want to try to tailor your sponsorship. And I'll give you some hardcore examples in a little bit. Accept in-kind sponsorship. In-kind sponsorship, and what that terminology means is that somebody is going to give you something, all right? It's a product or a service that you need. You do not have to pay for it, okay? They're going to give you that great value, all right? And you're going to consider them as a sponsor, as if they have given you cash, all right? So those tables, chairs, tents that you need, if you can get a party supply company to give those to you for your event, they're considered an in-kind sponsor. And the value of those tables, tents, and chairs, it could be $3,000. Then you make sure that you want to give them the benefit or the benefits of a $3,000 cash sponsor. Okay, it's very, very important that you do that. They've just saved you $3,000, right? Strong online presence is critical if you want big money. Sponsors and corporations, even foundations, they're starting to ask, how many Facebook followers do you have? Twitter followers. They're asking you about these social media platforms and how many people are following your page. So you definitely want a strong online presence. And oh my goodness, if your website is not up to date, whoo, goodness, or God forbid you don't even have a website. Oh, then yeah, don't think about big money. Don't even think about big money, all right? So make sure that website is up to date, current, accurate, beautiful, bells and whistles as much as possible, okay? Incorporate the sponsor brand into things. I'll show you a couple examples of that in a second. And then of course, with your events, always try to promote and incorporate some form of networking. So I'll go back into like Fashion Week, or even if we look at the Lantern Festival, right? You want some type of networking event that people can, again, build their social capital at. You know, they want that VIP reception, okay? Or they want that VIP lounge that they know that they can rub elbows with other sponsors, okay? Or donors, or your board members. So please make sure to incorporate some form of networking into your event. That's going to get you big money. All right, some other things on here to give you a couple of visuals to get away from those words for a second. So event money, these are different ways. These are basic, 6 basic ways in which you can generate money from your event. Sponsors, I alluded to that. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. Ticket sales, having an online auction. I don't care what event you are. If you're a 5K or fashion or whatever event it is, a gala, you should have an online auction or online presence for raising money, okay? Having a VIP lounge, I alluded to that earlier. Again, opportunity for networking, that's going to generate money for you. And then donating, an online presence is extremely important. So if you don't do the online auction, which is a missed opportunity, please make sure to incorporate online giving into your special event. So beyond just the opportunity for them to buy a ticket, you know, but if they buy a ticket, ask them if they'd like to contribute $5. If they want to buy a ticket for themselves, then do they want to buy a ticket for someone else less fortunate? Okay, so online presence with donations is going to be important to add to your event. That's, again, another great way of generating money. And then the last one on here that you see bottom right with the couple on there, having a merchandise shop is also pretty awesome. Don't want to miss that opportunity of having a merch shop, okay? So whether you're selling t-shirts or the poster of the event, whatever the case may be, some type of merch shop is really, really good to have in advance, okay? So again, sponsorship, tickets, auction on here, a VIP or networking lounge, having the opportunity for people to donate when they buy their ticket or donate because they can't attend, whatever the case may be. Online donation is important. And the last but not least on there again is having a merchandise shop available. Okay, so let's talk about Super Bowl. That was this Sunday. And you would think that I'm a big Super Bowl kind of fanatic, but I love it because I love seeing the marketing that goes on with the Super Bowl, not just the commercials, but also I'm the one that's kind of scanning, you know, whose logos are on the field, whose logos are around the perimeter, logos on the football players, uniforms, all that kind of good stuff. I can tell you on the uniforms this year, Nike owned it. Nike owned those uniforms. They paid big money to have that swoosh on the shoulders of all those players for the Super Bowl. But this is just a small snapshot of the sponsors for the Super Bowl that just happened on Sunday. Some statistics that will completely blow you away. The NFL makes at least $3 billion, $3 billion with a B, selling the Super Bowl rights to air to 3 networks. $3 billion is what they bank just from that simple opportunity. Tickets for the Super Bowl. You think your tickets, don't you necessarily think your tickets are high, right? I mean, tickets for the Super Bowl, $8,000 to $36,000 per seat for the Super Bowl. Okay. But, you know, hey, backing that up, they create an incredible experience people are willing to pay for, right? So that's one thing. Their merchandise sales alone is $1.6 billion is the estimate for merchandise sales, right, for NFL. Incredible money that they're making. This is just such a great example and a case study for you to be able to observe and look at. So what I'm sharing with you on the screen is a couple of things you probably aren't even thinking about, but these are all associated with the Super Bowl. The football factory experience. Whoa. Well, what is that? You know, who knows, but they got Wilson to sponsor it. The electrified tailgate party. That was sponsored by Ford. I mean, what is that? Okay. Super Bowl experience autograph by Panini. The Vault signature sandwich. Subway, how much money did they pay to be the vault signature sandwich? Here's an easy one, video booth by Invisalign. All right, I'm pointing out these specifically because they are tied to the brand of that company. Of course, Subway wants to be the vault signature sandwich. You know, that is great. They customize it specifically for Subway, or they needed a vault signature sandwich, and they could have gone to Firehouse Subs or some of these other sub companies to get that sponsorship. Video booth, how perfect for Invisalign to be the sponsor of a video booth where people are smiling and cheesing, right? Tie and customize your sponsorship, all right? That's where I'm going with that. Tie in and customize your sponsorship. Another great event that we're all very aware of that makes lots of money from sponsorship is the Olympics. I mean, and this is just talking about the Winter Olympics aspect of it. But on this young lady, I couldn't even tell you her name, but look, she's branded from literally head to toe. From her skis being sponsored by Atomic to her hat by Barilla. Barilla, it's like pasta. And they're on her hat and paid big money for her to wear that, right? And then Pirelli Tires is on her shirt. On her sleeve, she's got Visa emblem on here. She is logo and branded to the 9, okay? So again, with your event, you have a lot to sell. What I'm sharing with you right now is a couple of events that I did. The top left was for the March of Dimes. It was the Tallahassee Wine and Food Festival event. And for that, created a champagne lounge. And you see this young lady sitting in the tub with these bubbles. She actually poured the champagne in glasses. And Lion Insurance, they were the sponsor of it, loved it for the whole night. Again, it was a lounge. They chilled, their team chilled in the lounge. They greeted people that were coming in. They paid about $3,000, I believe it was at the time. This is a while ago, $3,000 to be the champagne lounge sponsor at the Tallahassee Wine and Food Festival. You know, I mean, that's a small part of the festival. Bottom right is the Tallahassee Fitness Festival, Fitness and Food Festival. And for that one, Humana, big sponsor of the stage. Not only did they have their branding all across the stage, but also they gave t-shirts. Anybody who came out on the fitness floor to work out got a Humana t-shirt, right? And again, their branding was all over the place. You can do this, all right? I need you to think about your event and think about all of the elements of your event, from the parking lot to the experience itself until when your guests leave. Think of every element through that. And every element has an opportunity to be a sponsorship or a branding opportunity for you to sell, okay? That's what's going to make your event unique, and that's what's going to get you that 4% of corporate money coming in. And when you're talking about corporations sponsoring you, this money is coming from their marketing department. All right, so their marketing department has a big budget. That budget is a lot bigger usually than some of their foundation money, okay? So look at that marketing budget, but the only way that marketing department is going to look at your event is if you do some of the things that I mentioned earlier, okay? Like having a media partner, having that social media and online presence, all of those things. I know, unfortunately, I'm out of time, but I was going to challenge you on what can you sell? What can you sell at your event? So I want you to think about that. What can you sell at your event? Okay. All right, so really quickly on here, the tips on ticket sales. This is one that run through it real quick, but we really don't take advantage of the opportunity that we do have with ticket sales, okay? So you wanna offer a variety of payment methods for people. It's way beyond just credit card transactions right now. People are able to pay, donate, give. Amazon Pay could be an opportunity, Venmo, PayPal, Cash App. If you're into it, cryptocurrency, okay? Give your audience a variety of different ways of supporting your event. Beyond the ticket, but ticket payments, think about how you can incorporate some of these other platforms on giving, okay? Have attendees pay transaction fees for online ticket purchases. I know we all just are just so warm and fuzzy and we have a heart and we're like, oh no, we don't want them to pay that $1, transaction fee. Nope. If they're giving, again, it's their contribution to support your event. So allow the attendees to absorb the transaction fees. And a lot of these platforms like Eventbrite will give you the option of selecting allow the purchaser to pay the transaction fee. Okay. Third on here is obtain email and cell phone information. You want to try as much as possible, whatever platform you use, make sure at the very least that you are getting their email addresses. If you can step it up a notch so that you can build your text messaging campaign, then you can try to see if you can secure a cell phone, their cell phone number. All right. And you'll see even a lot of platforms are trying to do that. So I encourage you to use that and maximize it to your benefit. Fourth out of the 6 is offer a BOGO or group tickets. Well, a lot of money is being left on the table when you don't offer a buy one, get one ticket kind of thing, right? You want to do that if you're really trying to drive the attendance and really drive your numbers up. Would you want to do that? Okay, your sponsors will love it, donors will love it. See a lot of people there. Then try to offer a buy one, get one. Okay, or you could do a promotion of buy one, get 50% off. But try to do a BOGO. And then group tickets. So, I mean, you've seen this before, and I'm sure a lot of you have purchased it. You know, it's like you can invite everybody in the office. Hey, we want to invite everybody from Artsville to come to this event. We're doing a group package of 4 tickets. You know, 4 tickets, and by the time you do it, it's like a nice discount that somebody can get from buying group tickets versus individual ones. So please consider that as well. Use your tickets for a sponsorship benefit, whether it's printed or e-tickets. So quick little note for you, you've got your tickets, people are buying it on Eventbrite or whatever, they may become, if you're doing paper tickets, still that. You want to use that for a sponsor's branding to be associated with it, because we all have to have that ticket, either it's on our cell phone, you know, or a printed ticket. Why not brand it with the sponsor's name on here? You really want to impress a sponsor? Oh my goodness. Have it where, let's say your sponsor is, I'll just say Subway, for example. People who attend your festival, if they go to Subway within 30 days, they show their ticket stub, they get $2 off their next sub. Okay, anybody can do stuff like that. You can do that from your event, right? Whether it's Fashion Week, Lantern, whatever, 5K, if somebody is physically buying a ticket, you can give that as a sponsor benefit, all right, as a promo. And then last on here is increase your day of ticket sale purchase by at least 25%. You want to try and generate and get that money in as early as possible. As soon as you launch your platform for ticket sales, you want to start generating money. All right, so go ahead and have, you know, an early bird special rate. Okay, and then if they decide that early bird special rate is $25, the day of, if I wait until the day of, it's going to cost me $50, you know, or it's going to cost me $35. Make sure it's a substantial difference, okay? Because some people will say, oh, early bird is 25. The day of, it's 30. That's not enough to encourage people at $5 savings. For some people, you know, our couponers out there, maybe that might do it. But for others, they're like, yeah, I'll just wait. I'm not quite sure. Create that massive incentive for people to go ahead and get their tickets in advance, all right? Let's see. Next thing, online giving. Oh, and I'm at the tail end, so we're going to be doing pretty good on time. But online giving, by far, for every 1,000 website visitors, a nonprofit raises $612. I mentioned how important that website is. You can see some of the other statistics on here as well, too. I'm going to go through this real fast so I can answer questions. And this presentation, of course, is being recorded, so you can always go back and play it again. But age, 47% of donors over age 60 give online. Again, another big reason why you want to have some form of online presence. And our baby boomers contribute to 43% of all donations. Wow, look at this statistic. Now, this should blow you away. Nonprofits process more donations between 10 p.m. and 11 p.m. Eastern, okay, than any other hour during the day. You know why? Because after a long day of work, I'm sitting on my phone, looking at my phone before I go to bed, or my computer ready to shut it down. And oh yes, I remember Artsville had asked me for that donation. Let me go on their website and give, okay? So again, having that online presence, extremely important. And if you're not aware about the Google ad grants, nonprofits, your 501c3, Google offers $10,000 per month of in-kind advertising. If you're not aware of that, then definitely contact me. We can talk about that as well. So let's look at a couple of online platforms that are pretty cool. I am not a representative of QGive. It just happens to be a platform that I find to be very easy to use and very cost efficient for nonprofits. But this is just an example. Having an online presence by far is important. And even if it's just for that one event, it's amazing what you can do just from that one event by having an online presence. This gives you an example of a totally 80s auction night that was going on. Cute little thermometer on the right. Everybody wants to see that nonprofit reach its goal, which is awesome. You can also participate if you've got your mobile device as well. You can still be involved in this online giving and promoting your event at the same time. 5Ks, it's more than just being out there and having that 5K event. Now we're online again because we're raising money online. So you've got your 5K event, everybody's really pumped up and excited about, but then you also see where people can go on and make donations beyond just the ticket purchase. Okay. All right, so I know I breezed through those last two quickly, and I haven't been doing a good job monitoring the chat. So let me take a look at this really quick. Amy, am I missing on? Oh, I see Corey has on here. I wish I would have had this info 12 months ago, 6 months ago. I got you, Corey. Not a problem, but you got it now. So you're well equipped and you're going to do great things moving forward. Where can the recorded presentations be accessed? I know it's being on Facebook Live. Amy, any place?
Artsbuild's YouTube page. We'll post it as soon as the recording's done processing on Zoom. We automatically post it to our YouTube page where anybody can access it for free.
Phenomenal. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Sarah, thank you for the compliment. I appreciate that as well. Maddie, thank you. I appreciate it. Wonderful. Y'all are so generous with your comments. I feel horrible about this in the sense that I did not leave a lot of time for Q&A. If you are available to stick around for 2 or 3 minutes and you have questions, then please feel free to ask questions in the chat, or you can unmute. It's completely up to you because I am on your time. But I want to say thank you for those of you who do have to leave. But again, Felina Martin, my contact information should be nice and visible on the screen. Please go on and let's be friends on LinkedIn and connect there. I love to throw out some different tips on LinkedIn as well too. That's where I'm most active, is on LinkedIn. But my email is on the screen. I am a Arts Build Shared Services contractor, and which that is amazing opportunity for me to be able to serve you in a different capacity, thanks to the generosity of Arts Build. So I do have some time available through them to be able to work with you one-on-one if you'd like as well. Any questions before we conclude or wrap it up? Maddie, I see your hand, like physically has her hand up. So Maddie, what can I help answer for you?
Felina, first off, this has been like just everything I've needed ever. So thank you so much. I do have a question about a media partner and what that looks like around money, and what does that partnership really mean, and how to pursue that.
Yes. So your media partners, what they're trying to do, specifically your newspapers, like to me, this is like a golden opportunity to get newspapers to sponsor your event, because they're trying to get subscribers, right? It's all about money to get subscribers and all that kind of good stuff, right? So for them, if you can show that at your event, you're going to help them get subscribers, then they're all on board with giving you free banner ads on their website, or they possibly will, again, newspaper, print. Usually they're doing a combination of the two. They'll do some print ads for you, and then they'll also maybe throw in some banner ads online. Okay, most people are looking at the news online, right? So they'll maybe do a combination of the two of those. But you want to tie in a nice little promotion that will allow them to reach your audience. So here's one of the biggest things. They're all going to ask you, whether it's a media partner, Maddie, or whether it's Florida Blue, it doesn't matter, okay, or Unum, it doesn't matter who it is. They all want to get your list of attendees or your list of members or something like that. You want to protect that as much as possible, okay? So what you want to do though for a media partner is you will say, I will send out 2 digital ads for for the newspaper directly to our attendees, okay? You'll do that on their behalf. It doesn't have to be incorporated with your newsletter that goes out or whatever. It could be completely that you are sending it out on their behalf to advertise the newspaper. Okay, they will love that kind of stuff. Yeah, but you don't want to give out your list, but you will promote them to your audience through different ways. If you have an event that's in person, and offer them a table to be there. They can, sell subscriptions from a table, give them a booth. They really want to be immersed. And the creme de la creme for nonprofits and getting media partners is inviting them to that networking event that I was talking about earlier. Because if you can invite the media partner to your networking event, it could be your VIP section, your VIP lounge, the VIP badge, or whatever you want to call it. But that media partner goes to that VIP lounge, that networking event. They're able to now meet with your other sponsors, which will generate advertising for them. Okay, so you see how that works? That's why that networking, I'm telling you, that VIP lounge it's like, ew, it's priceless. Maddie, I hope that helps.
It did, absolutely. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. You're welcome. And Corey, I see your hand up as well there.
Yeah, I actually just wanted to share something with Maddie and whoever else was not on. One of the Arts Build a little bit prior is that Donna L. with the Chattanooga Visitors Bureau. She said that she is always looking for people to advertise their events on their page. She said that they will come out and do a story on, whatever it is that you're doing. So she would be a good, a good person to contact because she's always looking for stories. And then also there's been, I have to give credit to T. She did we did the Chattanooga Children's Business Fair, and Greg Funderburg came out, and the other guy from 100.7 came out. And they did a phenomenal job of just really doing their own thing. Like they had, they came out, they did stories, they talked to the kids, they promoted even more so than what they said they were going to do on their radio stations. So, even if you just build a relationship with them, in some cases they do even more than what you expected. They were just going to do a quick little, story. And then they ended up coming out, and then they ended up doing a live while we were there. So yeah, just reach out to some of the radio stations and other people and invite them, and let them take it away.
Yeah,
Thanks, Corey. I just put Donna's contact information in the chat for those of you who would like to reach out to her. I know she's usually very receptive of that communication. And then a couple things have come up too that a lot of you guys are talking about. If there is something that you would like Artsville, a subject that you would like Artsville to address, like what Felina has talked about today, I did put in the chat a link to a survey that is ongoing for us. Tell us what you need so that we can bring the right professionals like Felina to you. So we need your input on that. So please, please, please take advantage of that survey.
Well, again, thank you everyone so much for your time and listening. And by far, like I said, I am available to you. So please contact me. You can call me at Artsville directly, or call me at Artsville to get me a message, or shoot me an email. I'd love to chit chat and talk to you further. And again, look forward to more workshops. And Amy, thank you for throwing that information in there with Donna. She's going to be a guest at one of our upcoming Artsville meetings coming up. But everyone, congratulations on your time for being here. Congratulations to you for your vision and your dreams, and have an incredible rest of your week. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, everybody. And if you missed anything, remember, this is going up on YouTube in a little while, okay? Have a great rest of the day.
Thank you. You guys as well. Bye-bye.